heightened states of emergency across the nation as a number of coronavirus.
And the latest numbers out of Wisconsin show more than 3,500 confirmed.
Continue our social distancing efforts to make sure that there aren't any crops of cases that pop up once again.
Areas, local health officials urging social distancing while necessary. Hilton
about how a virus may have spread in a restaurant in China.
But it's going to be important to do that because, again, isolation can make one feel even more depressed.
Hey man, what's up?
Not much, man. Just watching the news.
Yeah, I quit doing that a couple months ago. It got way too depressing.
I know, man. It's exactly what I was thinking. I feel like I need to get out of the house and do something. Do you want to find somewhere to camp? I feel like that keeps us away from crowds of people.
Yeah, I mean, I do. I need to get out. I think my wife keeps me out of the house more than I need to get out. But I remember you saying something about when he drove through the Adirondacks when he went to Maine, checked out some places there, and it sounded kind of cool.
The Adirondacks, like New York? I guess, to quote B, I'll try anything once.
Hey, man, the cool thing is it's not that far of a drive. We could swing by Niagara Falls on the way there, check that out, spend the night, and then maybe get an Airbnb, and then the next day drive the rest of the way, hit the trail, and have some fun.
I needed to get away from my house. Not that I don't love where I live or I'm not happy with my kids and wife, but I found out that my friends played a key role in balancing out my life. Any other time of year in these stay-at-home orders may have been bearable, but the late winter months set a dreary scene outside my living room windows. Day after day, much like the movie Groundhog Day with Bill Murray, I awoke to the same picture, the same routine. I needed something else. Typically our group trips take us out west to Montana or Wyoming, but circumstances this year kept us closer to home. In the Pigeon Lake Wilderness, there is a beautiful body of water called Clear Lake. I'll pause for all of you guys to laugh at that for a minute, just like we did, and then we'll forget about that and move on because it is beautiful. On this lake is a lean-to big enough for our group. The night before we hit the trail, we had a huge storm hit Niagara. The forecast looked grim for our hike out. Rain all day. Usually this would ruin our trip, but the lean-to provided shelter, and it turns out that the rain, for the first time, made our trip all the better. We sat in the lean-to, watched the rain fall. I closed my eyes and took in the gentle thud of rain on the roof and thump of thunder. The next morning we awoke to a completely different scene. A light fog sat in the valleys between the mountains. We put up the drone to take in the sights and do a little exploring of the surrounding area. Little did we know once the drone got up, we'd really see the beauty of which we were in.
So first night at Queer Lake was pretty fun, pretty relaxing, and pretty calm. We got here and we were pleasantly surprised with the size of the lean-to, and we were really impressed with, like, I guess the slight bit of development that was around it, the little fire ring and the way everything was set up right on the lake. And this lake is way bigger than we thought it would be. We're used to those like alpine-sized lakes that are maybe a tenth the size of this, if even that. Kind of was sort of a downer. It was raining most of the evening, but when we went in bed, it ended up being really nice, the fact that it was raining. It was super chill and relaxed and just, I don't know, comfortable. Now, we were stuck in that lean-to. I think we were sleeping 7 wide and 2 slept on the end, and it was pretty tight with all of us, and one idiot was snoring pretty much the whole night. That was me. I'm probably the worst person to go camping with when it gets there. But B woke up early and started a fire, and that's where we're at now, about to get some breakfast ready and coffee. My favorite thing about trips. So, go enjoy the morning.
Oh, that's a bagel if I ever saw it.
Oh, a little too black. Wes, do you want like a granola bar?
Where do you want me to set this?
Plenty of crap. On that piece of wood to keep it warm.
Oh, they'll definitely track your phone.
Brad, this isn't horrible, but nothing to write home about. Actually, anybody got a long jar, I'm going to rip out a page and write home.
Yeah, dude, what are you doing, man?
Oh, yeah. Guys, I need
why is it my fault you woke up
an
hour and got out of bed an hour and a half later than me? I waited for you to say, hey, I'm making a second cup. And then I said, all right, throw some water on for me.
Hey. Shut the hell up.
I can't do it all, man. But I will. I'll do the most. I'll do a lot.
I'll do the most.
Later that day, we did nothing. And that might sound kind of boring, but the nothing that we did is exactly why we were out there. To do things that didn't give us any sort of mental strain. To do things to get out of our houses and kind of change our scenery after all the stay-at-home orders. outdoors, man. It didn't matter what we did. We were gonna have fun. As long as we were hanging out together, joking around, doing dumb stuff, seeing what was over the next hill, it didn't matter. We were doing everything we needed to be doing. We hiked around that day. We fished around that day. Yeah, we even dicked around that day. And that day was perfect. And we just took in the day. Couldn't wait to see what was coming tomorrow.
Now the only thing is, if we go up further into New York, I would assume that would mean we go up there tomorrow.
So it might be cooler to pick somewhere halfway home.
Or we could start heading home, try to pick someplace halfway home. I don't know what's going to be options. There's not gonna...
Nice job, Claire.
How do you feel about your life so far?
Well, so far, my life has been filled with straight love and sincerity. And I would say that right now, I feel pretty good about my life, especially that we're here and doing this. And sometimes, you know, you just gotta hit the road and turn the page. You know, on the road again. There I go, up on the stage, you know. And so when we get there, I'll tell you how I feel, but I can't tell you how I feel until I get to feel it, you know. It's like, you know, watching the whole movie. Okay, watching Inception. Think about Inception. We watch that whole movie and they're going layers and layers deep, and sometimes you just get lost in all those layers. And if you watch that movie but you didn't watch the end when he spins the top, the whole movie doesn't mean anything. And that's kind of how I feel about my life right now. So I'll let you know how my life is when it's done. So our time in the backcountry is done. We decided we'd stop at a small town called Ellicottville in New York. And we kind of lucked into an Airbnb that looked pretty cool and had plenty of room for all of us. We showed up at our Airbnb, checked out their restaurants, played ping pong, and just hung out in the town. And this is why we do our trips. These moments where nothing is on the agenda, nothing is planned. We can just have fun, play the most fearsome, terrible games of ping pong that are super competitive, and fight for the championship of the world table tennis in that small garage in Ellicottville. But it didn't matter because our world was right in that town on that night. And that's the end of the trip. And I already can't wait to go on the next.
They had Blackfeet, and man, they didn't have shoes when they went down in the mine.
Oh, by the way, this good-looking dude is Austin. You'd think over 180 gigabytes of footage and multiple hours of footage, we'd have more than just a few clips of him. I think this dude's harder to shoot than Bigfoot. Maybe next time we'll get more footage of him.